If you let me.
For today's video, I'm going to be breaking down how I came up with this sample with my friend Ems, who is an incredible singer. I started off the idea with some chords. I sent it her way. She ended up doing her things, and then she sent the vocals back. So in this video, I'm going to show you how I finished up the sample and also how I turned it into a full beat for my other YouTube channel. So without wasting any more time, we're going to go inside a chordy and I'm going to show you how I came up with the chords. So the first chord is a C sharp minor ninth. The second chord is also a C sharp minor ninth. It's just an inversion. And then it goes into A major. And then it goes into a F sharp. And then the juiciest chord in this progression, in my opinion, Alright, so once I had the chords, I sent it to her, and this is what she came up with.
I'll be there beside you, oh my dear. Let me. I'll be there beside you. Give what you deserve.
As you can see, she definitely killed it. Now we're going to hop in FL, and I'm going to show you the final product. Alright, so the piano that I'm using is the Claire library, and I'm using the Dry and Rich preset. I also have a Ocean Way Studio, and this plugin right here is super goated for putting your pianos in a room. I think it makes a big difference in order to get your piano to sound somewhat more realistic. And I also put her vocal in Stretch Pro, and what I'm using for her vocals is just a reverb. I'm also using another set of the Ocean Way Studio for her vocals, and this is how that sounds together.
Where do we go, my dear, to escape from the sunrise? Happy when it's pouring out. It's in the out. I'll be there beside you. Give what you deserve. And if you let me, I'll keep to my word.
So for the next part of the vocal, I ended up playing the same chords on my Prophet 10, and I just grabbed two different pads from there, and this is how they sound together. Alright, so for the next step, I ended up using the Teenage Fever bass from my free analog lab bank. If you want to grab it, the link is in the description. And I'm also layering that bass with this bass from Trillion. And I ended up just putting an EQ to take out the high end. And this is how everything sounds together now. Alright, so for the next part, I ended up taking the same vocals that she had sent me, and what I ended up doing is I ended up chopping it up and finding different pieces and just making it sound like something completely different. So what I actually have on the mixer is just the same Ocean Way Studio, and I'm also using this reverb and this delay, and then I'm also using the shaper box, just using the panning feature just to go left and right. And then I'm using this RX 950 in order to get rid of the high end. So after messing around for a couple hours, I ended up coming up with those cool little chops. ended up taking the same piano that I had and I just pitched it up in the MIDI, and then I exported it as an audio and I pitched it back down. So this is how that sounds now with a reversed piano. So this is the same thing, it's just reversed. For the next sound, I ended up going back to Contact and I'm using this bank right here. I actually have a shaper box just to pan it again. And then I'm using this EQ to take out the low end. And then last but not least, I'm using this random delay. And this is just playing really random stuff. So for the strings, I'm using this preset from Opus, layered with those LA scoring strings, the chamber strings, also with London solo strings. And then I'm also using the string murmurations. And then last but not least, I'm using the most expensive string libraries that I own, which is the Hans Zimmer strings library. And then what I ended up putting on the strings was this preset inside of the Ocean Way Studios. All right, so I exported the stems and I dragged it onto another FLP because my computer was about to blow up from all of these stems. As you can see, I have 32 different tracks. I'm going to show you exactly how I came up with the drums. So the first part of the drums, I actually started off with this rim, and it's a pretty basic pattern. I ended up layering 2 different kicks together. And then I also added an 808, so together with the kick. As you could see, I don't have any hi-hats because I felt like there was a lot going on with the melody, so I needed to keep it as simple as possible. And as you can see for this section right here, I ended up cutting out the drums, and I have the hi-hats coming in, but I kept the hi-hats extremely minimal because I didn't want it to sound too busy or take up too much space. I also have this cool thing that's leading into the hi-hat. It's just hi-hat rolls. The only cool thing that I did was pan them in order to spice it up a little bit. And then the last sound that I ended up adding was just this open hat. I think one thing to take away from this is keeping your beats simple whenever you have super complicated melodies. Also giving the artist space to be able to rap on. One thing that you can do if your drums are not complicated, maybe take out some stuff for some sections and include some stuff for other sections so it doesn't feel as full. All right, so that's the full breakdown of how me and Ems made the sample and also how I turned it into a beat for my other channel. So if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe, and let me know what you guys want to see next.
Where do we go out there to escape from the sunrise? Happy when it's pouring out. It's you.